Debt. It's like a shadow, following you, lurking around every corner, suffocating your dreams of financial freedom. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to. Imagine waking up tomorrow without that weight pulling you down. Sounds impossible, right? Well, today, I'm going to show you exactly how to make it happen, faster than you ever thought possible. But before we jump into the plan, let me ask you something. What would life look like without debt? Imagine what you could do. Take that trip you've always dreamed about, finally start that business, or maybe just breathe easier knowing your money works for you instead of the other way around. You can have that, and it all starts here. 5 steps. That's all it takes to break free from the iron grip of debt and start building a future you're truly excited about. And trust me, every step counts. But before we dive in, do you know the difference between good debt and bad debt? Don't worry, we'll get to that soon. First, let's jump into step 1, because this is where everything begins. Step 1. Face the numbers. You can't fix what you won't face. Your first step is to take a hard, honest look at your debt. Yes, it's terrifying, like checking your bank balance after a night out, knowing you spent more than you should have. But here's the thing. You need to know exactly how much you owe, to whom, and with what interest rates. No more hiding, no more guessing. Write it all down, every last cent. When you confront your debt head-on, you take back control. Because here's the truth. Ignoring it won't make it go away. In fact, it's silently growing, like a fire spreading in the walls while you sleep. The longer you avoid it, the worse it gets. So, don't let fear paralyze you. Take this as your first stand against the monster. Think of it as your declaration of war against the thing that's been keeping you trapped. Now that we've faced reality, let's talk about how to get out of this mess faster than you think. Step 2. Snowball or Avalanche. Choose your method. You've probably heard these terms thrown around, but let me break it down for you. The Snowball method is all about knocking out your smallest debts first for quick wins. You tackle the smallest balance, pay it off, then roll that payment over to the next smallest one, gaining momentum like a snowball rolling downhill. The Avalanche method? It's focused on tackling your debts with the highest interest rates first. This stops the financial bleeding and saves you the most money in the long run. Both methods work, but here's the trick. You need to pick one and commit like your life depends on it. Because in a way, your financial future does. Imagine the thrill of watching your debt shrink month after month faster than you thought possible. That sense of control? It's addictive. You start to realize that you are in charge, not the debt, not the banks. Oh, and quick side note, if you're thinking of just doing minimum payments, let me stop you right there. That's like trying to dig yourself out of a hole with a spoon. You need a bulldozer, one of these methods. Now, speaking of bulldozers, this next step is where the real acceleration happens. Step 3. Cut the fat. We all have unnecessary expenses. Subscriptions you forgot about, eating out, that just one more latte. If you're serious about getting out of debt fast, it's time to cut the fat. Every dollar you save here goes directly to killing that debt faster. And don't think of this as deprivation. Think of it as a trade-off. For every dollar you save, you're buying something more valuable. Freedom. Every unnecessary dollar you spend is a dollar keeping you in debt. If that doesn't light a fire under you, I don't know what will. Start tracking every expense and ask yourself, do I need this more than I need financial freedom? You'll be surprised how many things can go when your bigger goal is freedom. Now that we've freed up some cash, it's time to supercharge this plan. Step 4. Boost your income. Let's be real for a second. Cutting expenses is great, but there's a ceiling to how much you can cut. On the other hand, there's no limit to how much you can earn. Whether it's a side hustle, freelancing, or selling stuff you don't need anymore, the fastest way to escape debt is to bring in more income. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire in the best possible way. Picture this. You've cut expenses, you've got a method for tackling your debt, and now you're earning extra income. Every additional dollar is like speeding up time. Imagine how fast your debt would melt away if you had an extra few $100s every month. That's how you turn the tables on debt. And hey, don't think you need to start a whole business to do this. You'd be shocked at how much people will pay for things like dog walking, tutoring, or even selling old stuff lying around the house. Skills you already have. Plus, it feels good to hustle and take back control of your finances.
Step 5. Automate and stay consistent. Consistency is key. You can't just hit your debt hard for a few months and then relax. That's like running half a marathon and expecting to win a medal. You've got to finish the race. And the best way to do that? Automate. Set up automatic payments so that you don't have to think about it. Automation removes the temptation to accidentally spend money that should be going toward your debt. It makes your progress unstoppable. Because here's what happens if you don't. Debt creeps back in when you're not looking. One missed payment turns into 2, then 3. But if you automate, that's no longer a threat. Your debt payoff will run like a machine and you'll finally be in control. There you have it. 5 essential steps. Face the numbers, choose your method, cut the fat, boost your income, and automate for consistency. Follow this plan, and not only will you escape debt's grasp faster than you ever imagined, you'll start building the life you deserve, the life you've always dreamed of. Oh, and in case you're still thinking, I'll start tomorrow, here's the thing. Debt won't wait. Why should you? Now that you've got a solid plan to crush your debt, what comes next? Imagine being debt-free and having your money work for you instead of the other way around. In my next video, I'm sharing how I earned my first $1 million and how you can too. Hit that subscribe button to watch it next, and let's take your financial game to the next level.